Here's a great application I was talking about, which is using the SPD-30 in conjunction with your acoustic drum set. Now I mentioned there's 4 dual trigger inputs on the back of the SPD-30. That allows me to do is configure the SPD-30 in a variety of different applications, like this one with my acoustic drum set. I'm using our RT series acoustic drum triggers. Now for the snare, I'm using the RT10S, and it's a dual trigger snare trigger. So I can trigger the snare head and the snare rim and have 2 separate sounds, and they're very isolated. Take a listen. Therefore giving me 2 different sounds on the snare. The tom triggers are the RT10T tom triggers. They're a single trigger tom trigger. They clamp right on. Same thing with the bass drum. I actually have my RT10K. It's made especially for your bass drum. Now the great thing about the Roland RT series drum triggers is that not only are they made for acoustic drums, but they incorporate the V-Drums technology in them. It has the foam triggering cone that's there, and what happens is it's taking up a very small footprint, but it's always riding on the head, so it's always being very sensitive to everything that you're playing. There's no tape, there's no glue, nothing like that. You just literally clamp it right onto the drum. Now there's an adjustable piston that's there for the foam triggering cone, so you can adjust, for example, the depth of your bass drum. That the shell rim might be a little bit deeper or a little bit thinner, and you can adjust the piston throw for the actual drum trigger. But they work great, and the best thing about them is they're made to go with the Roland percussion sound modules like the SPD-30. You simply have to change the trigger settings to RT10S, RT10T, RT10K, or whatever pads you're plugging in, and it's that simple and it works great. Now in these next playing examples, you're going to hear the acoustic drums via the overhead mics that I've got here, but it's also going to be blending with the direct sound of the SPD-30, and obviously I'm triggering the SPD-30 with my acoustic drum triggers. And it makes a big difference. One of the things you can do from a playing standpoint, whether it's recording or live playing, is actually just use the direct sound of the SPD-30, or you can blend the acoustic drum sound with the sound of the sound module. Here's the acoustic drum set without the SPD-30 sounds. Now here's with the SPD-30 sounds. Makes a big difference. And every song you play, you can change kits and have a completely different sound. Here's another great setup idea. I've got my SPD-30 over here. I'm triggering my acoustic kick drum and my acoustic snare drum with my acoustic drum triggers. But instead of triggering my 2 acoustic toms, I actually have 2 electronic drum pads over here. They're actually my PDX6s. They're great. They're the mesh heads, small, compact. I can put it right over my floor tom. The other cool thing is that they're dual trigger. So I actually, instead of having the 2 pads, I really have 4 sounds I'm able to trigger. Makes it very compact, very easy, and you can do a lot of damage with a setup like this. As you can see in here, adding an OCTAPAD SPD-30 with acoustic drum triggers and a couple of electronic drum pads takes your acoustic drum set to that next level, making it a hybrid kit. Don't know how to get started? It's easy. The guys at Kraft Music have bundles ready to go. Need something more custom? Give them a call. Either way, you'll be amazed at the sonic capabilities of your new hybrid kit.